Welcome BowCasters. My name is Matt Hogue. Welcome to the BowCast Tech Tip. Today we'll be covering basic fletching and cresting of an arrow. Today I'll be using a Bitzenberger dial-a-fletch jig. It's the one I prefer. It's a single stage fletch. Also, I prefer to use a cresting. It's a little bit brighter for arrow tracking, and it's a lot easier for when you're going to clean your arrows and refletch after you've broken one, cut one off. Just makes it a lot cleaner to where you don't have to scrape glue off the arrow shaft. Some of the glues that I prefer to use, the Goat Tough is a quicker setting up. Sets up in about 60 seconds, but it's a little bit more brittle. So if you're passing through your bales, it will shear off a lot easier. The Boning Platinum is another one. It sets up a little slower. Takes 3 to 4 minutes to set up generally, but it's a little bit more pliable. So when you're, if you have an old target or something like that, or shooting bales, it's a little bit more flexible in the long run. All right, when you're ready to start cresting, I like to use a mouse pad, something soft to work off of. So we're just going to lay our cresting flat, and we're just going to line the arrow up. You're just going to slowly roll it, keeping it even. Get it onto the arrow shaft, and you're just going to roll it straight up. And what I'll do is I'll pick it up and just make sure as I roll it, all these bubbles, any kind of creases are out. I'm just working slowly up and down the shaft as I come around. All right, and after we've worked out all the bubbles, we're ready to fletch. Features of this style of fletch is the way you can set your offset, helical, whatever you're using. With these, I use the Blazers, so I'm using a 1 degree offset. So I'm able to set that off the center with these dials. And once you start doing it and you have your jig set for your fletching and your particular arrow, it's they just run themselves after that. Now that I've got my fletch sitting in the clamp, I'm off my index mark, just sitting flush in the clamp. I'm going to run a bead of glue. And you can use too much and it'll run down the shaft, so you don't want to just put a light bead. I'm going to make sure that my arrow shaft is pushed all the way down into the knock receiver. I'm going to put the clamp flush, and then the magnet is going to take over, and we're just going to push it down. I'm going to go tough today, so I gave it its 60 seconds to dry, and what I'm going to do is remove the clamp now. And the most important thing is just don't rip the clamp off. You want to open the clamp and pull it away. That way you don't rip off what you just done. We're going to rotate the clamp until it locks in, and we're going to repeat this process until all 3 fletches are installed. All right, we've completed our arrow, and just for you bowcasters out there, if you're looking to get started and working on your own equipment, fletching your own arrows is probably the cheapest and most inexpensive way to get started. All you need is a jig, some glue, and some fletchings, and you can get started, and you have control over the setup that you're going to shoot. Anytime you're fletching, it's an experiment to what's going to work with your setup. The types of fletchings, there's 2-inch, 4-inch, Blazers, quick spins, the A&Es. There's so many different kinds out there, and the degree that you can set it off. The thing is just do some experimenting in the off season, see what works for you, and you can go from there, and that way you have control over it. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next Tech Tip.